Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to episode 2 of The Impossible Dream with the mighty Iron Scunthorpe United Football Club. As always, thanks for joining me. Make sure you do all the good stuff to help support me and my channel. Thank you very much. If you are brand new, feel free to subscribe, and all of you, please hit that bell and you'll never miss one of my videos. And you'll never miss one of these videos on this tiny little series, which could become great. It could go on. All depends on you guys. Do you like it? Do you watch it? Do I like it? Do I enjoy playing it? Well, so far, yes. I've enjoyed playing it, and we've got through a second season. We're in the Vanarama National with no money. I needed a ton of players. There's a challenge on my hands here, but I relish a challenge. I'm absolutely loving it. Can't wait to see what I can do. But can we take this club on and up and up? Is it going to be possible? Unless we get some kind of investment. Can we even think about ever building that fantastic stadium they wanted to build one day? I mean, that would be perfect. But for now, it's just a pipe dream, man. We're still non-league, we're still skint, and I needed a ton of players. Are we going to be any good? Let's find out. We're going to start the episode here on the Bookies odds page, where all my transfers have been done by the 10th of August. You can see we've had the lowest net transfer spend. 14 players in, 9 players out. I did manage to sell some younger players. I didn't put anyone up for sale, but you know, if a team came in, I sold them, and we didn't make a ton of money. It's like having a gigantic freaking open chasm canyon that you need to fill with money, and I dropped a penny in it. Do you know what I mean? But it's fun. It's fun. And obviously, my scouts, all 2 of them, had been doing a bit of scouting throughout the season. So every player assigned had a scout report. I'm not saying it was always an A, but we kind of knew what the player was about. And I've just gone for the best, even though I missed out on loads of them. Loads of them that, you know, ended up in League 1, League 2, or even teams in this league, and even teams that are rivals. Like Tunji Akinola, my scouts loved him, got an A+ rating in his scout report, and I think he would have been great for us. And I offered him £800 a week, but he chose to go to Grimsby. They'd just come down, so maybe it's a more realistic chance for him to get up. We've just come up ourselves, haven't we? And I looked, and he's on £600 a week, so he took less money to be at what he considers a bigger club, in Grimsby. We've got derbies this year against our rival, so that's always exciting. As you know, I had 24 grand wage budget. I'm spending a little bit more than that because obviously I sold a few players. There's a bit of wiggling here and there as the time went on, but we're in debt, and as the season goes on, we're going to lose more money, and that wage budget's going to get smaller and smaller. They're going to keep decreasing it, which is a massive worry really, because if we don't go up and we stay here, I might have to offload players, and there's going to be loads of players going again anyway, but I'll have less to spend, so it could be harder next year. So, if we look at the transfers, we brought in 130 grand. A couple of lads I've left on a free. I've released a few players as well to free up a little bit of space in the wages. All these other lads, bids came in from teams in and around above us and so on. Nothing massive. 15 grand for a player, bargain basement. But you can see here all the guys we've signed. Now, that was a compensation fee, and that shows up, and I don't know why, because one of the other lads assigned, I had to pay 2.5 grand compensation fee, but that hasn't shown up on here. I don't know why. But these guys are signed as soon as the season finished. No contracts coming to an end. And then when the contract ended, they came straight to us. All these other guys, obviously, were after the deadline, and after they'd all been released and thrown out there. Nobody wanted them. And I just got the best I could. I kept going for players. You'd either get them or you wouldn't, and in the end I've managed to put a squad together. Now we've got quite a big squad. There's no one really in the youth team reserves, and I've kept some of my good ones. I've promoted a couple of young lads, 2 17-year-olds at the top there because of the potential for let's keep some, and then there was a core of them who played well for me last year who I've given an extra year to because I didn't want to just completely have nothing. Some of them were good, so we've kept them. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole team because it'll take forever. I'm going to show you what the computer thinks is my best 11. And here it is. So, quickly, Stanley up top. I mean, he scored a lot of goals for us last year. I'll show you Owen. He's one of the lads I've brought in. Ben Cottrell's still here. I'll be honest with you, I like him. He was fantastic for me last year. But when we're getting towards the end of the season, I can't offer him a new deal. We've got no money to offer anyone anything. So we're probably going to lose Ben at the end of the year. So hopefully he can do well for us. Josh. He's one of the new boys. He's quite good, isn't he? I think for this level. Ellis Taylor, not a bad little player. Harrison Biggins. I mean, we've got good ages as well in this squad, to be fair. Jackie Spong, still here. It looks about 12. So is everyone's favourite Irishman, Mason O'Malley. We've got Jesse Deborah, handsome young man. There we go. Tom Wilson-Brown, I think looks solid. I think he was from Leicester. Or Leicester released him, I'm pretty sure. Regan Riley, right back. Decent. And we've still got Owen Foster in goal. And obviously I've brought in a lot of players, just to flesh out that squad. We'll just have to see if I can do better than what the bookies say. Staff-wise, I think I've brought in a coach. So we're quite good in a few areas. Everything else, I'm leaving. I ain't got the money. I'm not wasting it. As much as I'd love improving it, we're not doing anything. And of course, we won't be doing anything with the facilities without any investment. You know, Glanford Park's decent, especially at this level. Do you know what I mean? But when you look at what they nearly got, that new stadium, I think they had planning permission in place. There's going to be hotels and shops and everything built on the same location. And when you watch the video at the beginning, you can see how much land there is around there. They could, with money, they could have done it. And, you know, this is the world of Football Manager. And, you know, like I might have mentioned, when you start a series like this, you don't know how long it's going to go on for, but we'll see how it goes. You never know, something will progress. Maybe we could achieve that one day, but for now, just think about now. One game at a time. And it's definitely a step up in it. Some really good teams in the Vanarama National. Really good teams. The Torquays, Oldhams, Southend. I mean, Boreham Wood are good in real life at the minute. I think they've just secured their playoff place. Dagenham and Redbridge, Halifax, Barnet, obviously Grimsby, Bromley, Barrow, York, Crewe, Kidderminster, Solihull Moors are a good team. AFC Wimbledon, Yeovil, Torquay, Aldershot. Wow, I mean, it was going to be a challenge, but yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've been playing it for the last few days, gone right into it. It wasn't a chore, it was an absolute pleasure. But how have I done? Well, let's just get into it. Tons to get through. It's January the 1st, and we're 7th, which ain't too bad. 39 points, 2 points off York, a point ahead of Dagenham and Redbridge. There's not a lot in it around that area. I mean, we're not too far off the top, but I mean, the playoffs would be nice, wouldn't it? Because when you bring in so many players, all on a free, I love doing this, though. I do love it. You don't know how well they're going to... It doesn't matter about your scouting, but you don't know how well they're going to gel, do you? But we've been okay. We'll have a look on this bit. Lost 7. There we go. No Grimsby, though. Drew 6. Look at that Grimsby game, eh? 3-3. Wow. And we've won 11. Some good victories, some good goals. Playing pretty well. Stanley, I don't know why I was worried, but obviously he's in the top 3 goal scoring chart. Because he don't look great, but he scored loads for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not about how they look, it's how they fit in and playing your tactic. And I'll never forget last year's Journeyman series when I had a Chinese striker. I think his finishing was like 2 or 3, or it might be 5 at the most. And he scored like 40 goals for me. We need to look at this because the debt's nearly doubled, and you can see they've already knocked off at this point $4,000 from my wage total. So I'd have to clear $5,000 if it stayed like that. Now we've got a group of players, as you can see, good ones as well, decent ones. That deals will be running out. I mean, Cottrell is on $2,000 a week, but he's a good player. I think he's got a knock at the minute. I can't renew any of them, so they'll all be going, and will need to be replaced with free signings. Everyone else, you know, maybe got a year. I've got quite a few on 2. So, you know, it will be a case of looking at it. Even them guys who maybe got a year or 2 in the deal, if they don't perform for me by the end of the year, can I move them on? We'll have to wait and see. I've just basically, whenever I just put out the best team, I think, every single game. Fitness, I don't care. There's very little rotating. It's just try and get as many points as possible. We're still in the FA Trophy, but we've only played the 3rd round. Beat Boston United 3-0. And then we've got Barnet in the 4th, away again. It's now the 1st of April, a time of year on my Union Berlin building series that I've been enjoying the last few seasons because I've had a ton of money. I've just attacked that top 50 Wonder Kid list. That ain't happening on this series. Do you know what else isn't happening? I can't sign any of our youth intake. The guy at the top, John Nelson, this young Scotsman, only wants £100 a week. I can't give it him. I can only give him 5. And obviously at this point on this save file, I haven't offered it him, but trust me, I do. And every single one of them don't want £5 a week. Now £2 million in debt, and they've shrunk that wage again. So it could be a case of I've got no youngsters coming in this year. I've got no one in the youth team anyway. That 5, 6, 8 grand I need to clear off that. will probably go when them guys, that group of guys who've got the contracts ending, leave, and I won't be able to replace them anyway. Unless we get some kind of investment. And in the league, we've dropped out of the playoffs. We are currently 9th on 61 points, although it's still close. There's a lot of teams doing this, moving around each other, doing a little dance. So it's still possible. I just didn't want to get relegated. You want to kind of get in there and do well. You don't know what you're going to do. Grimsby are 17th, by the way. I mean, no offence to them. Very sad times, though. One of my favourite teams. Oldham in the relegation zone. So let's look at the league. Well, it didn't start great. I didn't pick up a win to my 4th game when we played Aldershot. There was a bit of to-ing and fro-ing. Lose one, beating Oldham. Lose one, and then we had this great patch here where things are starting to click together. A lot of new players though, and sometimes this game mirrors real life. You can imagine they're all starting to get to know each other. They're getting connections and gelling and playing better. But then, bad patch, good patch, bad patch. Big bad patch. And then recently it's got a bit better. We've run a bit of a roll. We're out of the FA Cup, and this really annoyed Ben Cottrell. He's disappointed we didn't get to the FA Cup proper. I mean, we should have beat Spenny more, in my opinion. And we got beat on penalties. I hate penalties. By Barnet. So we're out the FA Trophy. So it's all about our league and hopefully trying to put together a push for the playoffs. Squad-wise, we've got a couple of injuries at the minute. We've got 2 players in the greens, average rating. Stanley, who's done well, 20 goals, and Tom Wilson-Brown, the defender, who's been really good. Goals-wise, I mean, I've given Stanley the most of the games, to be fair. A few people have chipped in, probably not enough. Really, appearances, they're the main group that are playing. Like I said, I'm not really rotating. Get to start every game. I'm picking a team that I think is the best. Now, Owen Foster's good, but I'm pretty sure you could pick up a keeper no different on a free. And Huddersfield are interested in him, and he's unhappy, but he has got a year left on his deal. So there's a chance I could cash in, but it's not mega bucks, is it? That wouldn't cover anything. There's going to be another rebuild, and I'm excited about that. Each year, don't know where we're going to be, but each year there's going to be a massive turnaround. I'm trying to do a little bit more scouting, but I've only got 2, so I'm not overloading them. I'm just letting them really do their own thing, and then every now and again, if I spot someone, I might scout them. Do you know what I mean? But there's not a lot of difference at this level with players, so I have no idea. It's mad, isn't it? Because some saves, like, you're building a team and you're thinking of that future, and you can see in a couple of years these guys are going to grow into something. With this kind of save, you don't know. It's like the NFL. You're starting every year pretty much with like a new team, which is cool, though, in a way. And we're not super rich, and unfortunately our owner, who did save the club in real life, loves us. I wish he didn't. Think about it, mate. Think about cashing in. You've covered your debt, might you make some profit and sell it to someone who might invest. So he didn't really invest last year. Will he invest this year? No idea. One thing that's been nice is I gave a youngster a chance. I kept him, promoted him, just to flesh out the squad. But the fact they had 5-star potential, I just thought, you know what, I'll give you a chance. And he's played quite a lot for me this year. Obviously a bit more of a bit part player, but when he's played, he's been great, and he's the best passer, apparently stat-wise, in my team. One of our own, and he's got a contract for 2 years, so I'm hoping a player like him can step up. And this is a dig at Grimsby, but they're obviously our arch rival. We had a great game early in the season, 3-3, and I don't know if you noticed this, but we did beat them 2-1 at our place, which is great for the town and the fans. It was a good performance, to be fair. I can't believe they've done so bad. It shows you they've just come down. But this league's a tough one. It's a tough one to get out of, isn't it? Anyway, we could be here for a while. So if you like non-league football, this is the series for you. So we've now jumped forward to the 26th of April. You can see we're a little bit more in debt, which is absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. But what about the league? Well, with 2 games left to play, we're 7th. A point into them playoffs. The crazy playoffs. So, right, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I want to share with you as much as possible. All I'm going to say is, trust me, go with this process. I'll probably film everything and then edit the bits together to shorten it and show you the most important bits. Makes no sense to you maybe, but trust me, we'll try and get through it together. But we've not been too bad. Now, after the last save file, we did lose against York and drew with Crewe, but Crewe are a good team. But I've been on a 3-game winning streak and there's 4 clean sheets there. So, Wimbledon, still a good team. Didn't they just come down as well with Grimsby? But you know, they were 11th, and then Yeovil, good side away. We'll see. So let's get into all the action. So here we go with the first match. Can we kick off at home, our last home game, with a win against the mighty AFC Wimbledon? Farmer's getting the nod today up front. He's fitter. Wow. A few men behind the ball there, aren't they? Well, that's quite a good formation, really. But here we go, league table. It'd be a big one. If we can get 3 points today, it'd be massive for us. Well, it's not started great. Every highlight in the first 10 minutes has been Wimbledon coming at us, and they've just taken a lead in the 9th minute. What the hell? Well, the first half's been absolutely dreadful. Wayward passes, shit. Basically, it's just been shit. Really, really bad from us, I'll be honest with you. Well, that was disappointing. Massively disappointing. We did improve, actually, I think, in the second half a bit. There's a couple of moments. Just couldn't do anything. So that's us dropping out of the playoffs. So here we are now with the league table, and that was a bit flat. I'm a bit deflated from that, if I'm honest with you. We're in 9th. There was 71 points. If we beat Yeovil away, which will be tough, even though they're down there, it could be tough. We got a 74. We need York to get beat. They're playing Boreham Wood. We need Barnet to get beat, I think, and they're playing Ebbsfleet, who are down in 17th. So we need a lot of luck, really, don't we? So here we go into our final game of the season. All we can do is our job and try and win this match and hope other results go our way, but just do our job. I'll be happy with that. We've got a big Stan back up top, our main goal threat, so hopefully he can do us a favour. Could be Ben Cottrell's last game. Probably is going to be Ben Cottrell's last game, but there we go. Possibly blew it, but it's still fun, isn't it? Alright, here we go. The game has kicked off. I've not got the other results on. I don't care. I'm going to keep the league table on and we'll see if we move, if we score. I just want a bit of performance. That last game, there was just too many mistakes, and I know it's non-league, but you're playing similar level of players, and you know we've made mistakes this season, but they've been really good at times. I was just last home game of the season. I expected more from him. It's a bit of this dilly-dallying on the ball, winning it, and then giving it. I mean, the amount of times that game against Wimbledon, it happened like 3 times. One of my players would win the ball and be buzzing and then just pass it to a Wimbledon player. What are you doing? Anyway, come on, here's Deborah. Gotta love Debbie. Can we get an early goal? Come on, lads. Here he is. Big man stand, turn, shoot, scores. What a machine. 50th goal for the club. And it's pushed us into the playoffs. So at the minute, I quite like not having the results on. We'll just see. When all of a sudden we go, we're 7th, and then at the last minute, 9th. Do you know what I mean? Could be fun, it could be quite interesting. But at the minute we're doing our job and we're in them playoffs. Quite exciting. Here come Yeovil, nice ball to Nkomba. Oh, wow, well thought that was going in. Corner ball for Yeovil. A lot of you, when I was hinting in my Building Union Berlin series that I was going to do a team that's fallen down the leagues and ended up in non-league, quite a few of you mentioned in the comments you thought it was going to be Yeovil. But it's not, obviously. I mean, that'd be a cracking idea for you. Save idea for you if you want a little non-league challenge. Bloody hell. Right, half an hour gone. Big kick from the big man in goal. He's a good keeper at this level. You know, but if Huddersfield offer me 300 grand for him, I'll probably take it. Why not? I'll probably take anything, sell anyone. I don't care. We need the money, and just bring a load of newbies in for now. But it's pissing down in Yeovil. It was pissing down in sunny Scunthorpe, and it's pissing down on us. 1-1. And yes, we've dropped back down to 9th. Although Barnet are drawing. They went 1-0 down and scored 1 minute later. Oh, this is absolutely turd, but fun. It's fun. Quite often when I do these kind of saves, you rapidly get out. I mean, I think with Oldham, then I got straight out. And then once you're in that football league, it's a bit different, isn't it? You get more money, and we slowly worked our way up. We had a few blips along the way, but we got up there. I think there's about, is it 13 seasons? We're up in the Prem. So I'm not thinking about anything like that though. I'm not thinking about how many episodes I'm going to do, how long the series is going to be, the Premier League. Just game by game, season by season, and shit. Oh no, it's been disallowed, referee, you ledge. Injury time. But we've got a highlight. Could it be something special? We all know what these games are like sometimes. No, it can't. Unless you're playing rugby. Well, it's half time, it's 1-1 and we're not in the playoffs. But it's not over yet. Let's go, Scunny. The Iron. Yeah, obviously that little video I made. Do you know how many players have played for Scunthorpe? Either had little blip times in the career there or played there years. I mean, I could have put together a list of... I was talking then, Yeovil. Yeah, I could have put a list of loads of players. Neil Warnock was one. There's loads of them, to be fair. We've had stints there. Obviously, Kevin Keegan, who started his career there. The maddest one, and he's actually on the favourite icon list on the club page. Check it out for yourself. And I did not know this, was Ian Botham, the famous English cricketer. Actually played football as well and had to make the decision back in the day. And he realised I'm going to be a top level cricketer and an average footballer. But he played for Scunthorpe. Right, I've made a couple of changes, but we need a miracle. We need, what, 2 goals in 15 minutes? And we don't look like we're going to score it. We started quite well, but look at them stats. 5 shots, 1 on target. XG is absolutely turd. We have fell right off at the end here. Had a good run as well. But that's what the season's been like. Good patches, bad patches. It's just unfortunate we've had a good patch. And then when we get to that important bit right near the end, they're a bag of shit. I bet a lot of these lads are thinking about what they're doing next. I'm not going to be here next year. Who gives a fuck? Even if we go up, I don't care. Go on, Taylor, lad. Oh, we've got an answer to that, didn't he? Surely he got an answer to that. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, we've got no digital ad boards at Yeovil, and you don't have any at Scunthorpe, but you might have seen that we have. Now, that's one thing I always change on my saves if it's got... Oh, go on, Stan. Go on. And the reason being, because if I have digital ad boards, Evolving Mindset comes up. So if anything's potentially going to go on YouTube, one of my best friends, Lee Monaghan, runs that great mental health charity. Most of you'll know about it. So I just like that, the fact that he can flash up, I can mention him and I can give him a shout out. And it's just good exposure for a fantastic charity that's been in the game now for years as well. And if you're playing it and you see Evolving Mindset and you are struggling mentally, just click on the ad board. It'll take you straight to the website. Everything's free and they'll help you. But anyway, we didn't get beat. But that is our season over. So unfortunately, we've missed out on the playoffs. But do you know what? For a team that was put together for free with 14 new players and newly promoted, I think 9's really respectable. Flirting with the playoffs is respectable. Only being points away is respectable. But in any normal save or team, you'd be thinking, right, I can build on this. I'll just get a player there or a player here. We're not going to do that. We're going to lose a lot of players. Probably have to get rid of a lot of players. Hopefully try and bring some in that are free. So you don't know if I will improve it or will take a step back. But this is different for me and I like this. You know, it's so easy this game sometimes to fly up them leagues and be successful and kick on and kick on. Sometimes it's good to have a little step back and a challenge like this. Really test yourself as a manager and as a game player and see what I can do. And I'm going to have to do a lot, aren't I? Because, yeah, we're not in the greatest spot financially, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. It's all part of the challenge. Well, actually, panic may be over because we've got the new budget for the next season and it's $2,000 more-ish in total, I think, maximum wages. So I might be able to save some players. I might not. I might let them go. I might sell some players, but it gives me a breather. It's 26 grand. It's definitely better than 17 grand, isn't it? We're still in the same debt, but they gave me a whopping 20k budget. That budget's going straight in them freaking wages. What are you talking about? Actually, no. I'll probably keep it for a bit of compo. Might need it, might I? So, of course, I've jumped forward a little bit. Dorking, Maidstone, Hendon and Oxford City have been relegated. Crewe won the league. Halifax have won the playoffs, top 2. I always think that's fair and square. Grimsby were 14th. Still got Derby Day next season. And Oldham survived. Whew. Spennymoor, who knocked us out of the cup, lost at the playoff final. So we've got AFC Telford and Bradbood in the league and filed. It's filed. No one confirmed that for me. Is it filed? I'm sure it is. If I jump forward a little bit more, we can find out who's coming down to players next season. Look at that. Wrexham are flying now, aren't they? Blimey, is that going to happen in real life? Newport and Stevenage, they're 2 good clubs coming down into non-league. So yeah, it should be a good season, hopefully. Maybe. Better or worse, I've no idea really. So we're not losing any players. No one's come in for any good lads on pre-contracts. But I really think I need to sit down. Players like Ben Cottrell have been great. He's on £2,000 a week. Kind of find another Ben Cottrell on a free and move him on and get 2 players for his wages. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of maths involved, a lot of real deep thought really, to be honest. Even though I haven't got money to spend, I've really got to look at that squad now and maybe trim it a little bit, try and be a bit clever, try and improve it, and we'll see. So if you're a fan of random non-league averageness, this is the series for you. But if you're Crewe, you won't be happy with this. Yeah, they lost the FA Trophy to Barnet 2-1. Maybe we could do well in that next year. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I just want to find some random freebies that convert us into a super team, win a cup, win the league, get in that football league. But I can dream the impossible dream. So there we go. That is the end of season 2, episode 2. As always, thank you for your view and all the other good stuff you do for me. If you are new, feel free to subscribe or hit that bell. You know the script by now, and hopefully you'll join me for episode 3, which will be out a lot quicker because I've got 4 days off from work, so I will bash through that in no time at all. I'll probably do most of the season in a day. Friday, no wife, no kids, get up, take them to school, get a brew, get a little snack, and just put in about 8 hours solid. Yeah, that's the plan, and I can't wait for it. They're good, aren't they, them days? They're very rare for me these days. I do it in bits, but when you get that day of freedom and just you and Football Manager, it's absolutely glorious. So, as always, thank you for the support. We'll see what happens next year. I really do appreciate you. I do. Genuinely. I do. So, hopefully I'll see you for episode 3. You handsome sod you. I'm Bood. Bye-bye.